Anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not easy. This ancient wisdom reminds us that anger, though natural, is a tool that can either enslave or liberate us depending on how we wield it. But what if I told you that the path to true freedom lies in choosing never to be angry or bothered by anyone? That peace is not found by changing the world outside, but by transforming the world within. First, recognize that anger is an inside job. No one can truly make you angry unless you decide to let them. This means your reaction is within your control, even when it feels automatic. The moment someone says or does something that triggers you, you have a choice to react with irritation or to respond with calm awareness. It is not the external event that disturbs you, but your interpretation of it. This is a key idea explored in timeless works like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, where the Stoic philosopher teaches that your mind can remain untouched, even in the most difficult circumstances. When you realize this, you start to see other people's words and actions for what they are, expressions of their own fears, insecurities, or limitations. They do not define your worth or your peace. Imagine carrying an invisible shield that protects your inner calm no matter what storms rage around you. That shield is your understanding that their negativity is their own burden, not yours to carry. Next, you cultivate emotional resilience by shifting perspective. Instead of taking things personally, ask yourself, why does this bother me? What am I believing about myself or the other person that fuels this reaction? When you examine the story behind your anger, you often discover it's based on assumptions or unmet expectations. When you question these thoughts, the power they have over you diminishes. This practice is like clearing fog from a window. Suddenly, you see the situation clearly without distortion or emotional turbulence. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring injustice or pretending everything is perfect. It means engaging with the world from a place of strength rather than weakness. When you refuse to be bothered, you conserve your energy for what truly matters, your growth, your joy, your peace. This choice is an act of self-love and self-respect. It's about saying, I will not let your actions steal my happiness or my power. Another secret is to develop the habit of detachment, which is not cold indifference, but a wise distance. Detachment allows you to observe emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's like watching waves rise and fall on the ocean's surface while your mind remains calm and steady beneath. This ability to step back is what enables you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Finally, practice kindness and empathy even toward those who challenge you. Often, people who provoke us are themselves in pain or confusion. When you respond with compassion instead of anger, you break the cycle of negativity. You choose peace over conflict. This is the essence of emotional mastery, transforming every encounter into an opportunity for grace. In the journey of life, you will face countless moments designed to test your patience. But by mastering your response, seeing beyond the surface, and holding firm to your inner calm, you create a sanctuary no one can invade. This sanctuary is your true power. Here lies the freedom to live without anger, without being bothered, no matter what comes your way. Remember, peace is not the absence of challenges. It is the presence of mastery over your own mind. When you claim that mastery, you become unshakable, unstoppable, and profoundly free. Mastering your inner response is the true source of peace. This is a concept so profound, yet so often overlooked in our fast-paced world where external circumstances seem to dictate our moods, reactions, and overall sense of well-being. Many believe that peace comes from changing the outside world, from having better relationships, more money, or fewer problems. But true, lasting peace cannot be found in these external things because they are always shifting, always uncertain. Real peace is born from within, from the way you respond to life's challenges, interruptions, and provocations. When you master your inner response, you are no longer at the mercy of the storms swirling outside. Imagine a vast ocean. No matter how violent the waves on the surface, deep beneath the water, there is calmness, stillness, and stability. That deep stillness represents your inner state when you learn to control your reactions. It's not about suppressing feelings or pretending problems don't exist. Instead, it's about cultivating the ability to observe your emotions, thoughts, and impulses without immediately reacting to them. This space between stimulus and response is where mastery lives. Every day, life will throw things your way. Stress, frustration, criticism, even outright hostility. But the difference between those who suffer and those who thrive is how they handle these moments. When you give yourself the power to choose your reaction, you reclaim your peace. You stop feeding into the chaos and instead become the calm at the center of it all. This is the essence of emotional intelligence and self-mastery. Think about the last time someone upset you. Was it the words or actions that truly disturbed you? Or was it your interpretation, your internal dialogue, the meaning you assigned to what happened? Mastering your inner response means recognizing that the root of your disturbance lies within your own mind. It means understanding that anger, frustration, or hurt only arise when you allow them to. You become the gatekeeper of your emotional state, deciding what gets in and what stays out. This mastery does not come overnight. It requires patience, practice, and self-awareness. It involves pausing in the moment of upset to take a breath, to question your initial reaction, and to choose a different path, one that leads to peace rather than conflict. Over time, these small moments of choice build resilience and strength, making you less reactive and more grounded. Books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle or Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman emphasize this truth. It's not the event that shapes your experience, but your perception and response. By mastering your inner world, you create a sanctuary that no external event can violate. This inner peace becomes a shield against negativity, a wellspring of calm that you can draw from regardless of what life throws at you. Ultimately, mastering your inner response is the foundation for every other form of success, happiness, and fulfillment. When you no longer give your power away to anger, fear, or anxiety, you step into a life where peace is not a fleeting visitor, but a constant companion. It is here in this space of mastery that you find true freedom. Freedom from being controlled by your circumstances, and freedom to live with clarity, courage, and compassion every single day. Understanding that other people's actions only have power if you give it to them is a game changer in how you experience life. It's a truth that once fully grasped can free you from countless moments of pain, frustration, and anger. Think about it. How many times have you felt hurt or upset because of something someone else said or did? How often have you replayed those moments in your mind, allowing their words or actions to weigh heavily on your heart and mind? The secret is this. Those external actions only control you if you allow them to. Imagine someone throws a stone at you. The stone itself is just an object. It only harms you if it hits you. If you step aside or catch it safely, the impact lessens or disappears entirely. In life, words and actions from others are like that stone. They have no inherent power to disturb your peace unless you accept that disturbance. This is not about pretending to be indifferent or cold. It's about reclaiming control over your emotional landscape. People often believe that someone else's behavior has the power to define their feelings. But what if you flip that idea? What if you saw other people's actions as simply signals, triggers, or opportunities to practice your own strength? When you understand that you alone decide how much influence those actions have over your inner world, you take back your power. This doesn't mean ignoring or excusing harmful behavior. It means refusing to be a victim of it emotionally. This perspective is echoed in many timeless teachings. In Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, for example, he reminds us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The events outside of us are neutral. It's our response that colors them with suffering or peace. When you hold on to this principle, you develop an inner armor, a protective layer built from awareness and choice. It's important to understand that giving power to others' actions often happens unconsciously. A harsh comment at work might trigger insecurity because it touches a vulnerable spot within you. A betrayal by a friend might spark anger because it challenges your trust. These reactions are natural, but they become problematic when you allow the other person's behavior to dictate your emotional state day after day. The power to decide your reaction exists within you at every moment, even if it feels buried beneath habit and conditioning. To cultivate this understanding, begin by noticing your emotional reactions when someone upsets you. Instead of immediately diving into the swirl of feelings, pause and ask yourself, am I giving this person's action the power to disturb my peace? By shining a light on this process, you start to reclaim control. You realize you can respond differently, choose calm over chaos, and maintain your center even in difficult situations. This shift also changes how you view conflict and criticism. Rather than being defenseless, you become a conscious observer, able to separate the message from the delivery, the intention from the impact. You can decide which feedback is valuable and which is simply noise to be released. This skill protects your emotional health and sharpens your focus on what truly matters. In relationships, this understanding helps you navigate disagreements without losing yourself. You no longer take things personally in a way that drains your energy. Instead, you see others' words and actions as reflections of their own state, not absolute truths about you. This insight fosters compassion for both yourself and others, and it creates space for healthier interaction. Ultimately, realizing that others' actions only hold power if you give it to them is a profound act of self-empowerment. It transforms you from a reactive participant in life's drama into a conscious creator of your experience. When you hold this truth at your core, you live with a steady peace that is untouched by external turmoil. You build a fortress of calm that no storm can shake because your power comes from within, not from the shifting behavior of those around you. Your power actually earns the right to be a billionaire, except from your purchase of life you may keep. Cultivating emotional resilience is one of the most valuable skills you can develop, and it begins with perspective and choice. Resilience doesn't mean you never feel hurt, anger, or disappointment. It means that when those emotions arise, you don't let them control you or define your reality. Instead, you learn to observe them, understand their origins, and consciously decide how to respond. Perspective is like the lens through which you view every situation. A simple shift in that lens can transform your experience entirely. Imagine two people stuck in the same traffic jam. One sees it as a frustrating waste of time, the other as a chance to listen to a favorite podcast or practice deep breathing. Both experience the same external event, yet their internal worlds are vastly different. This difference is created by perspective. When you cultivate emotional resilience, you train yourself to take a step back from immediate emotional reactions. You create a mental space where you can ask, what is really happening here? Is this situation as dire as my feelings suggest? What can I learn from this? This shift from automatic reaction to conscious reflection empowers you. It's a reminder that your mind is not just a passive receiver of events, it's an active creator of your experience. Choice plays a crucial role in this process. Every emotional response, no matter how intense, carries within it a moment of choice, a split second where you can decide how to proceed. Do you let anger consume you, or do you acknowledge it and move forward? Do you hold on to resentment, or do you release it for your own peace? Do you allow fear to paralyze you, or do you act despite it? By repeatedly making empowering choices, you build emotional muscle. You become less reactive and more responsive. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual journey of self-awareness and self-discipline. But with time, what once triggered overwhelming emotions becomes something you can navigate calmly and confidently. Books like Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman highlight how resilience stems from understanding your emotions and those of others. They emphasize that true strength is not the absence of feeling, but the mastery over how feelings influence behavior. This mastery is accessible to everyone who is willing to practice intentionality and mindfulness. Another powerful aspect of cultivating resilience is recognizing that setbacks and challenges are inevitable parts of life. Rather than seeing them as obstacles designed to break you, you can view them as opportunities for growth. Every difficulty encountered is a chance to strengthen your emotional core, sharpen your perspective, and refine your choices. When you cultivate resilience, you no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as the captain of your ship, steering through storms with steady hands. You develop an inner calm that is unshaken by external chaos, and that calm becomes your anchor in times of uncertainty. Emotional resilience also extends to how you treat yourself. It means practicing self-compassion in moments of struggle, forgiving yourself when you falter, and encouraging yourself to keep moving forward. This nurturing attitude replenishes your strength and fuels your motivation. In practical terms, cultivating resilience might look like daily habits, journaling your thoughts to gain clarity, practicing meditation to calm your mind, setting boundaries to protect your energy, or engaging in physical exercise to release tension. These are not just actions, they are declarations of your commitment to your emotional well-being. Ultimately, resilience is about freedom, the freedom to live authentically without being enslaved by every negative feeling or external disturbance. It is about choosing peace over turmoil, clarity over confusion, and empowerment over victimhood. By cultivating emotional resilience through perspective and choice, you create a life where your peace is your power, and nothing from outside can take it away.